Hey there, and welcome back to Retire Your Way with ILG Financial. My name is Chase Lopez, this is Dave Lopez, and we're both registered investment advisors with ILG Financial.
Thank you, Chase. And today we're going to talk about changes to retirement. Some big changes have come up, haven't they, Chase? The Secure Act 2.0 has passed, and there's about 7 changes to retirement accounts and all things retirement. Today, we're going to talk about one of them, specifically the one that most affects those in retirement, which is our target audience, isn't it, Chase? The Secure Act has changed the date when you have to start taking required minimum distributions. So let's start by talking, Chase, if you don't mind, for those who aren't taking required minimum distributions yet or don't know what they are, what are required minimum distributions?
Yeah, so when folks are saving for retirement, they are most likely saving in a traditional 401k or a traditional IRA, an individual retirement account.
Right.
And as we know, we don't pay taxes on that money when it goes into the account, right? And the whole idea there is once we take the money out, that's when we'll be taxed, right? We get the tax deduction up front, the money grows tax deferred, and then when we take the money out, that's when the tax man gets his money. Well, the government encourages folks to eventually take that money out because they want their tax dollars, right?
I think encouraging is a kind word, right? They are requiring.
Exactly.
Because they want their tax dollars.
Exactly. So at age 72, you have to start taking money out of those accounts. You take the money out, you pay the taxes on that money, and then you can spend the money, right? But the only rule there is it can't go back into a retirement account. So you can't put it into an IRA, and we can't put it into a Roth IRA.
Yeah, so it has to go into a regular, what we call a regular account. You'll hear some advisors call it a non-qualified account, but an account that's just taxed as you go, like your bank account or an ordinary brokerage account where you pay taxes on gains as you realize them.
Exactly. Right. And so that starts at 72. They make you take out a little bit at 72, and it starts at 3.65%. So, if we're just using some round numbers here, if you have, let's say, $1,000 in your retirement account, you'd have to take out $365 from that account.
Wait a minute.
No.
Let's just say it again. If you had $10,000 in the
that's
account,
right. Yes.
you'd have to take $365 out, pay the tax on it.
Exactly.
And then you can do what you want with the rest of it. Is that right?
And then every year that percentage goes up. And I think by about age 100, you have to take out about 16%.
Yeah, there were 16.5%.
From that retirement account, pay the taxes. And then, like we said, you can do with it kind of what you want with it at that
juncture. Now why does it keep going up? Well, it keeps going up because, remember, the goal here of the government, their goal is over your lifetime to withdraw all that money so they can get the tax dollars that they've been waiting for. Remember, they've deferred their taxes on this money until you are in retirement. So the goal is now they want the tax dollars. The reason they've chosen these amounts, I think Chase mentioned the starting amount is 3.65% roughly, is it's based on life expectancy. So they're eking it out, but in theory the idea is the majority of your money in your 401k or your IRA, if you live to 85 or 90, will be withdrawn and taxed before you die. That's their goal. They need the tax dollars.
Yep. So with the Secure Act 2.0 that was just recently passed, they actually changed that age from 72, didn't they, Dave?
Yep, they raised it from 72 to 73. So if you turn 72 in 2022 or before, it doesn't affect you at all. Your RMDs are still due. But if you turn 72 in 2023 or later, you don't have to start taking your required minimum distributions until 73. Now, a quick little caveat to that. That doesn't mean at 73 you take out 3.65%. Remember the number Chase mentioned? That's still the number for 72. Remember how it goes up each year? So the amount you have to take at each age didn't change. You just get to skip taking it out at 72. Now, why is that good? Well, if you need the money in retirement, it doesn't affect you. You can take out as much as you want once you hit age 59.5. As you need it, you can take it out. This is really for folks who don't need the money and would ideally like to keep it in there forever and never touch it. The government's saying you can't do that. So now it's gone to 73 this year. If this year you were turning 72 and thought you had to take RMDs,
you get to wait a year.
we're the bearer of good news.
Yes.
You get to wait a year, right? And there's another change, isn't there? That's the first one. What's the other one?
Yeah, so if you, this is for younger folks, right? If by year 2020 or 2033, excuse me, if you turn 75, that's when you start taking them in year 2033.
Yeah, I think it's 2033. If you're 73, you get to wait.
Exactly. Right.
Till 75. So
Right.
it's a bump for younger folks, a little bit more, and the reason is they're expected to live longer.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, right? Since the government is expecting folks to have a longer life, right? They're just allowing you to delay starting to take.
Yeah, they don't want you running out of money.
Yeah.
So they've had to make these changes as life expectancies increase. Now, there's one more thing with respect to the RMD changes that's pretty significant. And I will tell you from the industry we're in, this is something that has been a thorn in our paw for years, not just us, but the CPA industry, the accounting industry, the financial industry has petitioned the government for years that if you've made a mistake and you forgot to take your required minimum distributions, the penalty for forgetting to take it, get this, 50% penalty. Now let me give you an idea how bad that is. Let's say Chase has a $10,000 required minimum distribution. $10,000 has to come out of his account. He forgets to do it. Under the old rule, he had to pay tax on the whole $10,000. So let's say between state and federal tax, he was paying 30%. So $3,000 he has to pay in taxes. That happens anyway. You can't. That's the whole purpose, paying taxes. But the penalty for forgetting to take the money out, 50% penalty, $5,000 penalty, and you still pay tax on the whole $10,000. So now, out of $10,000, you'd have lost $8,000 to taxes and penalty, and you'd have walked away with $2,000. I mean, it was draconian. Well, with the Secure Act 2.0, they've changed that. They've dropped it from a 50% penalty down to 25% penalty. In our opinion, still draconian, a 25% penalty on your own money just because you forgot to take a withdrawal, but it's better than 50.
Yeah, absolutely. And they give you a little bit of wiggle room there. If you make it up in the next year, they bump that 25% penalty down to 10%. So still don't want to be paying that penalty, right?
Anything's better than 50.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So those are all positive changes. A lot of times you don't get changes in the tax code that are all positive.
Right.
This is one of those times that's all positive. So changes to the Secure Act 2.0, specifically with respect to required minimum distributions. If this raises questions for you, get with your tax preparer or your financial professional. If you don't have one, feel free to reach out to us. We'll point you in the right direction and help any way we can.
Yeah, and if you could just like and subscribe below. You can also tap that alarm bell there to get future notifications for our videos coming out here in the future.
See you next time.